Mike and Kathy at home watching movies. This is the second one of these we're going to do, and we've got a third coming which won't be a Christmas movie, so it won't be posted on mymerrychristmas.com, but it will be posted on YouTube and MySpace for anybody who has watched the other one. Today is going to be a better Christmas movie. Not that yesterday's was a bad Christmas movie, but it just wasn't up to these standards. Well, there's not much that are up to these standards.
It's a classic tale.
Classic tale.
With a twist.
With tails.
Yes, with a twist.
With a twist. What we're going to be looking at is going to be one of my favorite versions of A Christmas Carol. Not the favorite version, well, probably on DVD.
It is my favorite version.
It's probably my favorite version on DVD.
Yeah.
But Patrick Stewart's one-man production of A Christmas Carol is probably my favorite, but that is not on DVD, even though he did do a straight-to-TV version of A Christmas Carol. It was not up to the same standards as his one-man show. But as far as Christmas carols that made it to the movie theaters, I'd say this is right now was the top.
My favorite.
Best.
I love it.
It's one of the best.
I could watch it over and over again.
It's one of the best renditions of A Christmas Carol ever. It's the most one of the closest to the books, which is strange considering the cast of characters that are in here and what it's coming from. We're talking about the Muppet Christmas Carol. This movie was made shortly thereafter Jim Henson died, which is a horrible, horrible thing to have happen, but it was made in tribute to Jim Henson. It was dedicated to him, and if you're watching after Kermit the Frog sings his One More Day Till Christmas song, you'll notice the shooting star goes across the sky and Kermit watches it. That's the tribute that Brian Henson did to his father, Jim Henson, for this movie.
I just learned something.
You just learned something.
I just learned something.
It starts out, let's go through our cast of characters.
It's narrated by Gonzo.
Narrated by Gonzo the Magnificent, or Weirdo, as you have on your notations, I'm sure.
And Rizzo the Rat.
And Rizzo the Rat.
One of my favorite characters in it.
One of the best comedy pairings in, since Abbott and Costello.
Oh yeah, they're great.
They're fantastic together. Rizzo the Rat is the comedic sidekick to Gonzo. Not that Gonzo needs a sidekick or a comedic sidekick, if Gonzo's funny by himself. But
Gonzo, who does he play? He plays...
Gonzo plays Charles Dickens, even though he's got a hook nose
and is a weirdo.
And
likes chickens.
But he's going to be the narrator for the movie. Michael Caine is going to play
Scrooge.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Great Scrooge.
Great Scrooge. It's sad because I'm sure he could have done a fantastic Scrooge just by himself without the Muppets, but he does a great job with the Muppets as well, and
he treats them like they're real people.
It's a fantastic performance, even if he is in a movie with the Muppets, which...
I'd be in a movie with the Muppets.
I would be in a movie with the Muppets, too. And soon there will be a new Muppet movie, according to rumors and speculation, but we won't go into that. It's a fantastic movie. Rizzo the Rat, like we said, Gonzo the Great. Kermit the Frog, of course, is Bob Cratchit. Robin the Frog, who is, I guess, his nephew on The Muppet Show, plays Tiny Tim. There's some additional frogs and pigs to round out the Cratchit family. Of course, Miss Piggy being the wife of Kermit the Frog in this movie.
I don't understand why the pigs aren't green and the baby frogs aren't pink. If you mixed a frog and a pig... Would you get a frig? Or a pog?
That confuses you, but not the fact that a pig and a frog had children, and some of them are frogs and some of them are pigs. The coloring is...
Or it would be good if the pigs had flippers or something.
Yeah, I think that would be too much to craft in Muppet
I'm just joking.
Anyway.
Off on the beaten path there.
And goes into the classic story. If you don't know Christmas Carol, then obviously you live under a rock.
Yeah, then you shouldn't be on mymerrychristmas.com.
Obviously, everyone understands this concept of Christmas Carol. Ebenezer Scrooge, as a quick overview, is a old miser who lives by himself. He has alienated himself from people that he would work with, people in his family, and just about humanity in general. Everyone hates him.
He's a curmudgeon.
And he is visited one night by
Jacob and Bob Marley.
Jacob and Robert Marley, which is an addition to this story, which of course it was just done because I guess they to figure out how to get Statler and Waldorf into this. So
you remember Statler and Waldorf? They were the two old guys in the balcony on the Muppet Show that made all the nasty comments.
yes, well,
Love them.
it gave them a little funny thing to do, and it also got both of them into the movie. There's a trio of original Muppets designed just for this movie. Originally, it was going to be some of the other ones, Fozzie Bear, I believe, and Animal were supposed to play one of the ghosts, or both, well, two of the ghosts, I should say. But they decided to go with original Muppet creations, which I think is going to work out for the better because,
Yeah.
well, can you see Animal as a ghost of Christmas future?
Animal!
It just doesn't work out. So, and I think that when they probably thought about it, that's where they came up with a desire to come up with, and they came up with some great new creatures, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
The Ghost of Christmas Past is a little odd, but you know, it's.
Oh no, she's ghosty. It's like
No,
a
I'm not
small
saying that.
child,
It's
but
just
she
kinda
looks like a
creepy
wispy.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't look creepy looking.
But, and then
No,
there's the
she's
Ghost
pretty.
of Christmas Present, who is
I love him.
Ghost of Christmas Present. That's haha.
Christmas presents.
Who's a rather large Muppet, and then he
Red
shrinks.
hair.
He shrinks later, and did you happen to notice that? And when he's in, he fills up half the room, and then he shrinks down to about full-grown man size.
And then through his section, his hair goes from red to gray.
As time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a bit of an airhead, but
Well,
he's
I
a
tell
very.
you that he's an airhead. He concentrates on the present, and as soon as the
Oh.
present is gone, he just
All his thoughts are about
right now, Christmas.
right now, the present of Christmas, and that's.
He keeps
Most of
forgetting
us
that
are.
he's introduced himself like 50 times
So
already.
he forgets some things, but that's okay. It's enjoyable, and he probably has the biggest impression on Scrooge throughout the movie. There's some great songs in the movie.
Oh, I love the songs.
Songs in the movie.
They get
I'm-
stuck in your head.
I do want to apologize for the widescreen editing job there. If you do happen to go out and get a anniversary edition of the Muppet Christmas Carol, it comes up. It'll allow you to pick full screen or widescreen. If you pick the widescreen, be fully aware that you will be missing a song, a very important song
Yes.
to a very important scene. It will be taking out the Love Is Gone. No, Love Is Gone? When Love Is Gone,
When
yes.
love is
When
gone.
Love Is Gone song, it goes straight from the girls say
Love is gone.
Ebenezer and Belle talking in the past about how much they loved each other, but she decides to leave, and instead of singing the heart-wrenching song and leaving, and you get to actually listen to Michael Caine sing for the first time, they just chopped it out. Now, if you watch the full-screen version, which is actually not the preferred version for people who are heavy into movies and stuff like that,
You get the song.
the song is in there, which doesn't make a lick of sense to me, especially at the ending when they run the credits and you get the song sung by somebody else. It just doesn't. But
It was poor choice on that, but
be aware of that fact. If you get the regular older version, which I think is still available, but I'm not entirely sure, I think it's in there because they don't give you the full screen or widescreen, they just give you the full screen version.
you know what's another good thing about them not using Animal and Fozzie Bear as the ghosts?
You don't have
We
Ghost
wouldn't
Waka
have-
Waka.
No, we wouldn't have Fozzie Wig.
This is true. You had to get Fozzie Wig
Instead
in there.
of, was it Fozzie Wig in the movie?
Yes,
in the real
Fozzie
version?
Wig, and I went to Fozzie Wig's Rubber Chicken Factory. That is a
Fozzie
classic.
Wig's Rubber Chicken Factory. You
There's-
don't get that in the classic version.
which is, and there's some great scenes in there, which is where he first meets Belle, and you also see Statler and Waldorf as his old business partners, Jacob and Robert Marley.
Bob Marley. They should have had dreadlocks.
Yeah, man. Anyway,
Sorry.
there was what was the other? There was an edit job. Not so much on. There wasn't an edit job in the movie itself, but they took out some. They changed some bits around, but you come to expect that. You pointed out the scene where the Ghost of Christmas Present, usually in all stories that you've seen, has the two children underneath his robe. They took that out because it probably would have been a little upsetting for small children, as they tried to make a little ghost scenes a little more upbeat, except for the ending where the narrator and his partner in crime run away. They hide until the ending. The big cloaky ghost is a little scary, but not too bad. He's
Yeah, no,
just
it's not
you
really
don't. There's no face. He just points a lot. He doesn't talk. He's huge. They did a good job making a costume where it looks like it's a cloak. It still moves like a cloak,
It's
but
creepy.
he's frozen.
Yeah.
In the top, it just
He's
stuck
got really
in here. There's
long
nothing inside his head.
fingers.
What else are you thinking?
What else am I thinking?
Yeah, you got some notes over there.
Oh.
Anything that you want to talk
I
about?
think that we talked about everything, but the songs will get stuck in your head and you'll be humming them for the rest of the day.
Yeah, so you pick up a cut. This is a DVD that you will spend more than $5 for. If you see it, you're willing to. If you find it for $5, it's a miracle. But if you don't see it for $5, don't worry about it. It's definitely
It's
worth
worth
the
it.
purchase for more than $5.